Hi everybody, welcome to Yessy's Designs. I am so glad that you're here, and today's YouTube video is gonna be about the pattern release of the Dominga Cowl. If you have been following me on Instagram or Pinterest, Facebook, you have seen a few pictures that are showing this design, and they have been going on for, I'm gonna say, about 2 months. I started working on this design a little while ago, and after trials and errors and choosing what patterns and stitches I wanted to try for this cowl, I am so happy that today you're gonna be able to knit this for yourself. I always like to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind one of my designs, and I'm happy to say very respectfully that this design is inspired by my great-grandmother Dominga. If you would like to read a little bit more about my great-grandmother Dominga, I'm gonna put in the description below my blog where you can read a little bit more about it. Now, just to summarize a little bit of that, my grandmother, the way I remember her, she was always so happy. She was always laughing, always smiling. I remember the times that she would dance and be with us, with me and my cousins. And it's just beautiful memories from the time that we spent with her. Now, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, we always call her grandma anyway. And so let me just, for the sake of keeping things simple, my grandmother Dominga, she passed away when I was 17. So that was not, so that was hard. She's so happy, and she loved to laugh, she loved to dance, she loved to talk, up to the point when she developed Alzheimer's and some dementia too, so she started to forget things very, very quickly. But even at that point, when she was confined to her wheelchair, I remember we spent so many weekends, just not to say that it was all weekends, but almost every weekend we were there with her, sitting by her wheelchair. We had music in the background. She loved salsa, she loved merengue, she loved vallenato. And we loved to dance there with her. She was in her wheelchair, but we would make it happen. And it was just nice talking to her. There were points when she remembered things and she would talk. There were times where she just stopped talking, but she always kept that smile. I remember that her dresses were always very delicate looking. They always had some lace. Her hair was beautifully combed, part in the middle with 2 pins on the side. And that was like her signature hairdo for when she was getting older, the times that I remember her. And when I was working on this pattern, I talked to my mother, my aunts, and one of my uncles. And I said, this is something that I want to bring out, of course, respectfully, thinking about my great-grandmother Dominga. And we started talking over the next few days. And because I said, I have my own perspective. I have my memories of her that I wanted to include in the pattern, but I wanted to learn more. I cannot even tell you how many things I learned about her. When I have been referring to this pattern, I always say it's delicate, it's very elegant. But a lot of things were not that delicate looking, especially when my mom and my aunts and uncles, when they were little, she was very strict and things had to be done in a certain way, or you wouldn't see that pretty side at all. And it was pretty funny. We have been laughing a lot, and some tears as well, because one of the things that we all agreed is that she was a very strong woman. She had to raise her 4 kids. She had to raise them mostly on her own. It was hard work. Back in Colombia, it's not easy. The things that she had to do to sustain her family as jobs, they were not the easiest, but she went through it all. So in my blog, I say, that I always value that I take also that part of her, that we have to be determined. Things are not gonna be easy all the time, but that smile that she had, her attitude, her demeanor overall, it was just admirable. So respectfully, I wanted to have a design with her name. So I went, now talking a little bit more about the design, I went through a few swatches trying to decide what patterns I would like to include in there or what stitches. So I made a sample for my daughter that I love the two patterns that I put in the cowl. But at some point I said, I think it looks better, you know, the other way, like putting the pattern that I put on the bottom, putting that on the top. So I'm gonna show you now the swatches that I made for this design. So I wanted to include this one, and I love the way it ends over here on the top. So this is the part that you're gonna have here for your neck. I think that's just beautifully done, very elegant. And I know I might be saying that word a lot of times, but that was the look that I was going for. And I wanted to complement that with some eyelets. I'm hoping that I'm saying that word right, but I love that design. So I made my daughter the first sample, and this is how it looks. I'm gonna include here a picture or two about how she looks wearing this Dominga cowl over here, which I think is so pretty. The Picot edging, that's also something that I wanted to include in there, so you can see that in the pictures that are shown here right now. Now, when I wanted to design something, I'm thinking about my great-grandmother. If you see here on my shelves, I have a lot of skeins. I had some yarns sent by Urth Yarns, and I got quite a few skeins. Some of them I already used, but I have about 3 colorways that I haven't worked with yet. Now, the sample that I made for my daughter, this is one of their yarns. I have the information about the colorway and everything in my description here in the video, and you're also gonna find that in the knitting pattern in case you want to try these yarns. I cannot say enough how the colorways are so very pretty. The quality is just amazing. Great stitch definition, which I was looking for, because especially with this part on the top over here, you really wanted to have a yarn that had that stitch definition, and I accomplished that with their yarns. So it's a very beautiful yarn to work with. If you want to know more about what is behind Urth Yarns, you can also go to their website. Now, I made that for my daughter, and she loved it, and I loved it. So I wanted to make, of course, one for me. When I saw how it looked on her, and I went through it, I said, you know, I think this is worth offering a pattern. I think this is so beautiful, in my opinion, of course, and I shouldn't say that it's worth to share. You know, with the way things are in the world today, in our own personal lives, and, you know, the overall situation, I always wanted to look for patterns that really help me to calm down, or just to enjoy the knitting time overall. So I have been making so many of these Dominga cowls. So first I made it for my daughter, then I made my own, one for me. And then when I made the decision, okay, this is one of the patterns that I'm really gonna work on to release it to other knitters to work on. I know that I have quite a few people that are very loyal to purchasing some of my handmade pieces as well. Every time I release a pattern, there is always a few people that say, we would like to buy the finished piece. Sometimes I can make it for them, sometimes I can't, so I direct them to other knitters who would be happy to knit it for them. But I had quite a few colorways here in my stash that I really wanted to work on, and some partial skeins, some skeins they were complete, but I thought they would look so pretty for this design. So I'm gonna show you first the cowl that I made for myself, and then I'm gonna show you some that maybe you're gonna find in my website. In the ready to ship section in my website, you're gonna see the Dominga cowls that are available at the time of this recording. These are the ones that I have for now. So you might go to the website and you might not see it there, but you know, these are the ones that I worked on. So again, from Urth Yarns, they had another colorway that I was so in love with from the first time I saw it when they sent it to me. And I know that I wanted to make something special, so I just left it there. And when I saw this one on my daughter, this Dominga Cowl, I knew that that was the colorway that I wanted to use for myself. So this is it. I'm gonna show you now some pictures where you can see how it looks on. So in the pictures that you're gonna see here, I don't know how many I'm gonna be able to share for now. You can see that I wear these over the shoulders, but this is also something that you can just wear without putting it over the shoulder. So you can go with for both looks. Maybe not all body types are gonna be able to have this pattern over the shoulders, but the way that I'm gonna wear it, of course, when it gets cold, is not over the shoulders. It's just gonna be like this, and then my coat is gonna be on top of it. But again, the stitch definition is just amazing. The drape is just so beautiful. The eyelets are shown so very well in this yarn. So I'm very happy that I chose that skein, that colorway, to keep it for me. It's just beautiful. It's almost like if you used a few different yarns to accomplish this colorway. So when I saw this, I said, I know that a lot of us, we love stripes, and it's always a fun technique to work on in my case. So I tried a few techniques for achieving a jogless look when you're working on stripes. I tried a few that, they looked okay, but I don't know, there is always something that made me just like not be completely happy with it. So I used a technique that I have been using for a few months already to make my striped hats that are gonna be available in my live sales, and that start in the month of August. I'm gonna go live on my Instagram account every Friday, the third Friday of the month actually, at 7 p.m. standard time. So you can follow me on Instagram to see, because my live sales are gonna happen on Instagram Live. You are welcome to subscribe to my newsletter so you know when they are happening. I'm gonna send a reminder. I'm gonna send you in my newsletter a few pictures of pieces that are gonna be available there. So you are more than welcome to join me there. I have been working on so many pieces for you guys, and I really hope that they find good homes and that you enjoy wearing them in the colder months, that you take a ton of pictures when you are enjoying your time outside. And I'm always so happy and so humble that the pieces that I make are gonna be part of those memories in the upcoming season. So you're gonna see there a lot of stripe hats that I absolutely love to work on. So anyway, in the knitting pattern of the Dominga Cowl, you're gonna go to a video tutorial that is gonna show you the technique that I used to achieve a jogless look. I tell you, I'm in love of that technique. When I saw it, a while back, and I started using that for the pieces that I'm gonna have ready for you, I thought, this pattern, it's gonna go great with that technique. So that is the pattern. That is the tutorial that you're gonna be able to watch and to follow when you purchase the Dominga Cowl. So there are two video tutorials there. One, to achieve a jogless stripe for the faded look, which is this one. This is available as of today. It's available in my website. This is with Malabrigo yarn. So you can see, let me see, I'm going this way. You can see the stripes in there. Is the faded look going from the darker colorway to the beautiful golden tones. So you are gonna have that there. It's beautiful. And I also used some yarns from, I have another one with Malabrigo. This was in one of their beautiful colorways. I believe this one is Anniversario, which is absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. Also great stitch definition. You can see here against my black dress. Let me see here like this. You can see there the Picot edging that looks so very pretty. The eyelets, you can see the lace design. It's just absolutely beautiful. You can never go wrong with Malabrigo. and it's always fun to try different yarns. Now these two that I'm gonna show you now, they were knitted with yarns from Knit Crate. I used to have the subscription that I miss so much, but it requires a lot of time to make the patterns and then work on the live sales and releasing knitting patterns for you. But I kept a few to design with them as well. So I made the faded look. I have to still weave a few ends in here. You cannot see that in the final pictures. So here you have this one that I just fell in love with. I saw this one and it makes me think like royal colors. Again, you can have that striped look in there where I use this technique. And if I'm gonna turn this around, for example, so I'm gonna turn this around and I don't think you're gonna be able to see where you make those changes in yarn, which is just beautiful when you are trying really to achieve a clean and professional look. Now I have two more that, as for now, again, they are in my website. This is also from Knit Crate. This is, I use these skeins to make a shawl. Let me see here. It's just beautiful. It's the pattern that comes with those skeins. I kept it there. You might see it in my website as well. I don't remember if I have it listed, but it's one of the most beautiful shawls that I have made. So I had enough yarn to make a Dominga cowl, and it's just all the feelings of summer, if I may say so. The greens and the yellows. When I was working on this one, I remember working here. I have in front of me my window in my studio, and I see the trees and the leaves that are green with that yellow look, and it was like bringing the outside inside. I know it might sound cheesy, or I don't know, but I just love working on these, knowing that I was enjoying the same colors outside the window, the colors that we had in the season. Now this one is not spring looking, but is fall looking. It makes me think of the acorns, so the pumpkins, so all the oranges that we see in the fall. So I think this is also so very pretty. I used here a yarn that would remind me of the fall colors, or something that maybe you choose to wear and you're just gonna blend in the fall. I think it's just very pretty, very pretty. So all of these, you can look in my website to see what else is available there. And as for now, I am not making any more Dominga cowls to list as ready to ship in my website, but I have a few colorways here in my stash that I just have set aside. I have two different colorways that I have set aside to list at some point, because again, I shouldn't say this myself, but this is to me one of those patterns that is very hard to stop working on, because you start working on the eyelet section, and then when you get that part and you see the delicate look and the fun look at the bottom, then you start with the eyelets, and then at some point when you are maybe thinking, okay, I have enough of the eyelets, then you change right away to another technique, and then you have the lace on the top. And when you get to block the piece, I put instructions how to block this piece, especially on the top over here, so you can get that shape. It's like up to the end, engaging piece to work on. So I really hope that you enjoy working on it. I think I mentioned that in my blog too, that at this time, so many of us knitters or crocheters, designers, we are really looking to work on pieces that we can offer to you to add to your making time, to your knitting time. So everything that I make is not being released. I really try to release patterns that I personally think that value to my knitting time. So I really hope that when you work on it, you just keep saying, oh, this is so pretty, or this is lovely. I did very good at purchasing this pattern, or I'm going to make this pattern for this person or this person. And yeah, I know that I'm going to make a few to give to a few friends that I think it's going to help them smile and all of that. So anyway, while I make that for a couple friends, and when I make a couple to add to my website at some point. I'm gonna be very happily wearing mine and still matching my daughter. That's one of the things. Where is hers? Hers is right here. That is one of the things that I enjoyed, that I really liked when I chose this other one. When I saw it, like the finished version is like this lavender color that I chose for her. It's here in this colorway as well. So, I forgot now. I know I have talked about the fact that I made one for my daughter, but in the pattern, you're gonna have 3 versions or suggestions as to how to make the Dominga Cowl. There is gonna be the child version, which would be one size. My daughter, she's 7. Her size clothing is 14. So this is for, I just put child and one size. If you are kind of an experienced knitter, you know how to substitute yarns. If you wanted to make it bigger for a bigger child, it will be easy for you to find out how to do it. There's gonna be the adult version that will be like if you're just working on a solid color, and then you're gonna have the version that includes the stripes, is the faded version. So you have 3 ways that to make your Dominga Cowl. If you have any questions after you purchase it, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be very happy to answer any questions that you might have. I try to be so clear in the pattern when I was writing it, but you never know. If there are any questions that you have, please feel free to reach out. I'm going to have in the description below all the links where you can find the Dominga Cowl Knitting Pattern. And I hope that you set aside some of your fingering weight yarn to work on it. Please don't forget to tag me on your social media if you're sharing your work in progress of the Dominga Cowl. I really would love to see that. When you post your final picture, please tag me. I would love to see it as well. If your knitting account is not public but private, please send me in my direct message a picture of your finished cowl. I really would love to see what decisions you made as to if you chose the child version, the faded version, the just the solid colors. I would love to see the yarns that you chose, the colorways. If you have been working with me before, that I really try to connect with the people that reach out to me. So I would really like to see what you have made. So here you have another knitting pattern that I hope you enjoy working on. Now that the weather is going to start to get cooler and cooler, we might spend a little bit more time indoors and having a knitting project to work on also when it's a little cool outside. I think it adds to that knitting time. So get your candle or your diffuser with your essential oil, your coffee, your tea, nice music, or a nice movie. Enjoy your knitting time. I hope that the Dominga Cowl adds to this. Have a great day. Happy knitting!